One girl moved with her parents to a new house. She has many new girlfriends and friends in her new home. The house stood on the very edge of the city, but there was a river and a forest nearby to swim and go for berries and mushrooms. The children who lived here often played together, as everyone knew each other, and their parents always went to visit each other. Only one boy never played with them, although he often went outside. He would sit on a bench, just like an old man, and sit there doing nothing until it was time to go home. Why doesn't he play? The girl asked her new friends one day. He's sick and he can't run, said one older boy. He used to play with us, but now he's been banned. One day the girl went out for a walk. Mum said they have to go on business soon, so don't let her go far from home. But the yard was empty, only a sick boy was sitting on a bench. He waved at the girl to come over. Everyone went swimming in the river, he said when the girl came up. It's a pity, said the girl, Mum told me not to go far. Then she thought for a while and asked, are you really not allowed to run? Really, the boy nodded, something has happened to my heart. But I'm going to have surgery soon and then I'll be able to play with everyone again. The girl sat down next to him on the bench. Aren't you bored sitting alone? No, the boy replied, I look around and see how many things are happening that other people don't notice. Yes, the girl was surprised, and what did you see? The boy shrugged his shoulders. Different things. For example, the sun has eyes, but it rarely opens them. Really, the girl was surprised and looked at the sun. But the sun was the most ordinary. The boy laughed softly. You need to look very carefully to see this. And if you look closely at the clouds, then after a few days you will see that they are repeating themselves. And also, he suddenly stopped talking. Frowning, the boy watched the man walk by. The girl has already seen this man. He lived in an old house, which was overgrown with thick blackberry bushes around. But for some reason the children never picked blackberries there. The girl didn't like this man very much, but she couldn't tell why. Have you seen it? The boy asked when the man left. Saw what? The girl asked. His shadow is twice as long. Stay away from her, if you don't want to have surgery, too. The girl did not understand what the boy meant by this, but then her mother called her. After that, the girl saw the sick boy several more times. But he didn't say anything else. And then he stopped appearing. At first, the girl thought that he probably had surgery, but then the children in the yard said that he had died, his heart had burst. And for some reason, the girl immediately thought that the boy did not die because of the heart at all. After all, she also tried to look carefully. And I also noticed that the clouds in the sky were repeating themselves. And the long shadow of the man who lived in a house overgrown with thorny blackberry bushes. Not only was the shadow very long, but it also seemed to move in a completely different way. It was as if she lived apart from a person. And it even seemed to the girl that the shadow was watching her. The girl was afraid to look at this living shadow, and she asked other children about this man. Shush, one boy interrupted her, don't talk about what you saw. Adults won't believe you anyway. My brother tried to tell me about it, and a few days later he was fished out of the river dead. At first they thought he had drowned, but then they found out that he died before he fell into the water. Then what should we do? The girl asked softly. We'll do everything ourselves, the boy replied. We'll get rid of this man with a living shadow. Ellipsis. A few days later, the children sneaked into the house at night, poured kerosene over the blackberry bushes and set them on fire. The fire was so strong that even firefighters could not put it out. And it burned until the morning. And in the morning, only ashes remained on the site of the old house. Burnt human bones were found among the ashes. The children were delighted that their plan had succeeded, but the next night one of the boys died. The next night, another one. And someone was dying every night. Only children. And the adults couldn't do anything. The girl's parents took her away and took her to another city. But a few days later, they were woken up at night by a loud scream. When they ran into the room, the girl was already dead. A thick stalk of prickly blackberries was wrapped around her neck, and there were severe burns on her hands, as if she had held her hands in a fire.